The sound comes first, a guttural, earth-shaking roar that rips through the misty morning air. It's the V8 of a 7-liter American beast, echoing across the Circuit de la Sarthe as dawn breaks. This is Le Mans, mid-1960s, the battleground for a war of egos, money, and the hunger for victory. For years, Le Mans belonged to Enzo Ferrari. His red machines were untouchable, masterpieces of speed and style. Ferrari's dominance was legendary, but behind the scenes, his company was bleeding money. Enzo needed a partner with deep pockets to keep his racing dreams alive. Across the Atlantic, Henry Ford II saw an opportunity to inject excitement into his brand. Ford wanted Ferrari, and Ferrari needed Ford. The stage was set for a monumental deal. Negotiations began, millions on the table, lawyers everywhere. Ford would get racing prestige, Enzo would get financial security. The world watched, expecting a new automotive superpower, but Enzo Ferrari's pride was as fierce as his cars. The real drama was just beginning. The battle lines were drawn. The deal was nearly done. Ford's team in Maranello, contract ready, dreams of Ford-Ferrari glory in the air. But Enzo Ferrari, ever the purist, found a clause. Ford would control Ferrari's racing destiny. For Enzo, this was unthinkable. Racing was his soul. In a dramatic outburst, he rejected Ford's millions, insulted their cars, and stormed out. The deal collapsed in spectacular fashion. News of the rejection hit Henry Ford II like a slap in the face. The Deuce was furious. This was no longer business, but personal. Ford's humiliation turned into a vendetta. He issued a chilling command: go to Le Mans and beat Ferrari. The war was on. What began as a business deal became a battle for pride. Ford's mission was clear: defeat Ferrari on the world's biggest stage. The rivalry had become a crusade. The race for revenge had begun. Fueled by anger and an open checkbook, Ford unleashed the GT40, a low, aggressive machine built to dethrone Ferrari. The 1964 Le Mans debut was a disaster. The GT40s were fast but fragile, breaking down one by one. Ferrari cruised to another victory. Ford left, humiliated. In 1965, Carroll Shelby took over, toughening the GT40 with a monstrous 7-liter V8. Hopes were high, but Le Mans was merciless. The Fords led early, but reliability failed them again. Gearboxes shattered, engines overheated, and once more Ferrari triumphed. 2 years, millions spent, and nothing but broken cars to show for it. The laughter from Maranello echoed all the way to Dearborn. Ford's dream was slipping away, but the failures only fueled their obsession. The GT40 was fast, but not yet a winner. Ford needed more than speed. They needed perfection. The quest for victory was about to reach new extremes. The stakes had never been higher. Most companies would have quit, but Ford doubled down. Henry Ford II's obsession became Ford's mantra: total performance. The racing division was told to spend whatever it took to win. Carroll Shelby and a transatlantic team of engineers worked around the clock, reimagining the GT40 from the ground up. Computer simulations, dynamometers, and relentless testing became the norm. Every weakness was hunted down and eradicated. The fragile gearbox was replaced, brakes improved, aerodynamics refined. By 1966, the GT40 Mark II was a different beast, no longer a prototype, but a weapon. Failure was not an option. The pressure was immense, but so was the innovation. Ford was ready for war. The showdown at Le Mans was set. In 1966, Ford arrived at Le Mans with an army, multiple GT40 Mark IIs, top drivers, and a mission. Ferrari brought their best, but Ford's power was overwhelming. The race began with Ford domination, but Le Mans threw everything at them: rain, chaos, and crashes. Ferraris faltered, Ford surged ahead. Ken Miles, the GT40's chief test driver, led with skill and speed, on the verge of a historic Triple Crown. Then, Ford's PR team intervened. They wanted a staged photo finish. Miles was ordered to slow down, letting the other Fords catch up. The three GT40s crossed together, but a technicality handed victory to Bruce McLaren and Chris Amon. Miles, the architect of Ford's success, was denied his win. Ford had finally beaten Ferrari, but at a cost. The victory was corporate, not personal. The world saw triumph, but inside the team, there was heartbreak. The legend of Le Mans was forever changed. Ford's revenge was complete, but bittersweet. The headlines celebrated Ford's triumph, but the real heroes were the engineers in Dearborn. Their innovations, like Edward Hull's honeycomb aluminum chassis, made the GT40 Mark II both light and strong. Aerospace technology, quick-change brakes, and a robust gearbox gave Ford the edge. These unsung geniuses turned a flawed car into a legend. But victory came at a price. Just months after Le Mans, Ken Miles died testing the next prototype, the J car. The pursuit of speed had claimed its greatest driver. The engineers pressed on, learning from tragedy. Their work would shape the next chapter. Ford's win was built on sacrifice and relentless innovation. The war wasn't over yet. The spirit of Le Mans demanded more. Ken Miles's death shook Ford, but the mission continued. The J car was re-engineered into the GT40 Mark IV, safer, faster, and all-American. In 1967, Dan Gurney and A.J. Foyt took the wheel, facing Ferrari's best in a record-breaking race. The Mark IV proved both fast and reliable, outlasting the competition. Gurney and Foyt drove flawlessly, taking the lead and never looking back. They crossed the finish line, securing a historic victory for Ford and America. On the podium, Gurney started the tradition of spraying champagne, a symbol of pure joy. Ford had not just beaten Ferrari, they'd done it with American ingenuity and spirit. The war was over, the legend sealed. The victory belonged to the engineers, the drivers, and the dreamers. Ford's conquest of Le Mans was complete. The world would never forget the battle. The machine that conquered Ferrari was built by rebels, visionaries, and heroes.